Let's talk about something we all know way too well, work that just feels pointless. Today, we're going to move beyond just feelings. We're diving into a paper that lays out a really rigorous scientific system for actually finding and getting rid of that waste work in a company. So I'm going to start with a pretty direct question. Is your job, or, at least parts of it, really, truly necessary? I mean, think about it. That weekly report that you're pretty sure no one ever reads, that standing meeting that could have been a 2 cents email. This isn't just about you being annoyed. It's a huge company-wide problem. And this paper, well, it tries to solve it with some serious engineering. Now, the paper gives this kind of work a very specific technical name. It's not just a task you don't like. A bullshit task is something that eats up time and energy, but has basically zero causal effect on the things people in the company actually care about. And that word, causal, is everything. Does this task cause a good thing to happen? If not, from a scientific perspective, it's waste. And this whole thing leads to a really weird paradox. We've got amazing software, lightning-fast computers, AI, all this tech that's supposed to make life easier. But are we working less? Nope. It feels like companies just have this hidden work generator that's always on, creating new things to do, whether they add real value or not. Okay, so if this problem is so obvious to all of us, why haven't we fixed it? Well, the paper argues that the way we usually manage work is actually part of the problem. Our traditional methods just aren't built to find and get rid of this kind of stuff effectively. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the contrast here. The old way, a manager cuts a project based on a gut feeling, right? Or maybe some office politics are involved. The decision is usually sudden, final, and you might not even know why it happened. The new tech being proposed is the total opposite. It's all based on data and real experiments. Changes are slow, you can undo them, and the whole process is open and fair. So to fix this, the paper introduces a really powerful new approach. And to help us get our heads around it, they use this brilliant analogy. I want you to think of your company as a digital garden. Your job is to help the valuable plants grow and, well, carefully pull out the weeds that are just sucking up resources. So tool number one for our digital garden is something called value sensors. Think of them like little probes you stick in the soil. They measure what everyone agrees a healthy garden looks like. And get this, it's not just about profit. Employees can actually say, hey, I value having more free time, or I value seeing our projects succeed, or even just I value having a stable team. It's a way for everyone to have a say in what success even means. Now for the second tool, and this is the real game changer. It's an effectiveness tool that uses a proper scientific method called causal inference. This is basically your super high-tech weed detector. It runs actual experiments to figure out if a task, a plant in our garden, is a flower that helps everything grow, or if it's just a weed that's choking out the good stuff. And the system is really rigorous about this. It's not just guessing. It collects evidence at different levels. The best, highest level of proof is an A/B test. That's like literally removing one type of plant from a small part of the garden just to see what happens. A medium level might be comparing your garden to a very similar one down the road that happens to be missing that plant. And a lower level would be digging through old records to see how that plant affected growth in the past. But wait, you might be thinking, what about a plant that looks totally useless, but it's the one thing that saves the whole garden from some rare disease that only shows up once a decade? This system has an answer for that: essential work protection. It's got built-in safety features to protect those tasks that seem pointless day to day, but are absolutely critical in a rare emergency. Like a disaster recovery plan. So once the system finds a potential weed, how does it actually get rid of it? This is where the paper introduces a truly revolutionary idea. It flips the script. It reverses the burden of proof. Instead of you having to prove a task is useless, the system asks the task to prove that it's useful. And the whole pruning process is this really careful 3-step dance. First, the system flags a candidate, a task that takes up a lot of effort but has strong evidence of providing close to zero value. Second, it basically sends a message asking for proof of its value. And third, and this is key, if nobody provides any proof, it doesn't just kill the task. It starts to slowly and safely turn down the resources for that task. And that process can be stopped or even reversed at any time. And that brings us to maybe the most important point of all. How many tasks does this system just delete on its own automatically? The answer is 0. A big, fat 0. This is not some rogue AI running around cutting things. It's a smart tool to help humans make better decisions. It flags waste, it applies a little bit of data-driven pressure, but a human is always in the loop for the final call. So what's the whole point of this? What's the end goal? It's not just about being more efficient. It's about getting back to that well-tended garden, a place where people can actually focus their incredible talents on work that matters, work that creates real value. When you step back and look at it, the promises of a system like this are huge. It's designed to cut down on that frustrating, pointless work we all hate, while at the same time, it protects the stuff that's actually essential. It makes big decisions fair and transparent, not political. And what it really does is free people up to do the work they were hired to do, to solve real problems and make contributions they can actually feel proud of. So I'm going to leave you with the same question that's at the very heart of this paper. What if we could just stop guessing? What if we could scientifically prove which work matters, and then have a system to safely, carefully, and fairly remove all the rest? This is a really ambitious idea. And believe me, we've only scratched the surface here today. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty and see all the technical details, you can find the original paper linked right in the description. Thanks for watching.